Hello YouTuber Reservoir Warrior here with a Cardfight Vanguard deck profile. This is for an Aqua Force deck I put together yesterday. Play tested with my friend Brandon with his Royal Paladin and Dimensional Police deck. We did some trades yesterday because he got 4 boxes of Champions of the Asia Circuit. And he was actually able to pull this Stamped Leon XL, which I totally forgot they had side versions of these. I thought it was only in trial decks, but speaking of trial decks, he did also manage to pick up the Leon and Ren trial decks for me on Friday. I couldn't go to the locals we go to on Friday, which is Toy Wiz, so I still had credit left over. He was able to get those 2 decks with me with credit, and I still have some more credit left over. And then yesterday, the other card shop we go to, which is Tier 1 Games, had their Star Wars Destiny tournament, and I didn't do great, but I did manage to get one of the playmats, so I was happy about that. That's all I really wanted, actually. Even though first, second place, and then person who runs the tournament gets a full art Ahsoka promo. I would have liked that, because that is the next deck I'm going to build, but it's okay. And then everybody who entered got 2 copies of Tinker, and then 2 4-speed full arts, which is also what the mat is. And then we all got a little storage box for free as well for entry. Anyway, with this deck, what you got to be careful with Aqua Force is basically who you attack with first, because the way a lot of effects go off of it, it's like second battle, third battle, fourth battle, or what the case with Algos, one of your grade 2s, first battle. So, without further ado, let's get started. I'm also going to have to do another Dimensional Police deck profile now that I don't have Great Dayusha anymore, and I think I only have like, I have 1 or 2 Dayushas and no Die Dragons, so it's going to be a completely different Dimensional Police deck now. I'll see if I can even build a non... I should have enough resources to build a non-Dayusha build, right? Out of my 5 extra boosters, I would hope so. Speaking of out of my 5 extra boosters, I only got one Maelstrom out of it, so that's why I'm only running 1. If I had more, I'd run more. But, yeah, unfortunately, I only have 1 Maelstrom. Counterblast 1, and all of your front row units get plus 3,000 till end of turn. That's a once per turn ability, but a pretty solid one. And then when your rear guard attack hits a Vanguard, if it is the 3rd or 4th battle of that turn, discard 2 cards from your hand and stand this unit. Yeah, I kind of misread that, because I thought if you attacked with him as the 3rd battle or more, he would be able to stand. No, it's one of your rear guards, so again, that's why you have to be careful. And then I run 2 Stormrider Diamantes. One of my favorite grade 3, probably my favorite grade 3 in the deck, honestly. I kind of want to bump this up, but you don't really need to. When it attacks, if it is the 1st battle of that turn, this unit gets plus 3,000 until end of turn. So he's usually the one I ride on top of my grade 2. Or if I have Maelstrom in my hand, I'll put Maelstrom, and then I'll put him either on one of the rear guards or the gifts. Usually I save the gift, though, for Riptide Dragon. But his rear guard effect is when it attacks, if it is the 3rd battle of that turn or more, Counterblast 1, discard a card from your hand, stand this unit, and it gets plus 3,000. So that's also very key. And that's why you don't necessarily need to put him on that gift marker, or that Excel. Yeah, you don't have to put him on the gift for that reason. Then I run 2 Riptide Dragon. When this card goes off, it's awesome. When it doesn't, it's unfortunate. But it can only attack on the 4th battle of the turn or more. And then when it attacks, it gets plus 20,000 till end of that battle. So if you have this on the gift, that first attack is going to be 42. And then every attack afterwards is going to be 22,000, which still isn't that bad. But still, it is kind of situational, which is why I only run 2, and I feel like you only need 2. And then one of your trial deck grade 3s, Naval Gazer Dragon. When it attacks, if it is the third battle of that turn or more, counterblast 1 and stand one of your rear guards, and this unit gets plus 10,000 till end of that battle. And then he is one of the foils. I couldn't do an unboxing of the trial decks for you guys, although I feel like you've seen a bunch of them already. And that's all because I forgot to bring my tripod to the comic store yesterday. But anyway, I'm also zoomed in, that way it's easier for you guys to see the effects and everything. And that way I don't have to hold up the card to read the effects. So I do not run Tidal Storm or Tidal Assault in this deck. I really do not like that card. After so much playtesting, I realized I don't want to run it. I don't like it. So instead I'm running 2 Stormrider Basil. When it attacks a Vanguard, if it is the third battle of that turn or more, counterblast 1, and this unit gets plus 5,000 until the end of that battle. And if it is the fourth turn or more, it gets plus 10,000 instead of plus 5,000. I'm the type of guy who loves to play aggressive. That's why I love this deck, because I could do a lot of aggro plays. And then I also run 2 Shotgun Assault. When it attacks a Vanguard, I always think it says when it attack hits a Vanguard, but that's other Aqua Force cards that have that effect. If it is the third battle of that turn or more, Soul Blast 1, and this unit gets plus 8,000 until end of that battle. Soul Blasting isn't really an issue for me because it's only this card and another card that does Soul Blasting. What you have to be careful for, though, and I feel like that's the same with any deck that uses Counterblasting, is just make sure you know how much Counterblasting you can do. I think there was like only one game where I couldn't Counterblast anymore, and I totally forgot I couldn't. But it was okay because I was pushing for game that turn anyway, and I did. But regardless. And then I also run 3 Tier Knight Lazarus. One of my go-to grade 2s. Love that Vanguard Rearguard ability. When it attacks a Vanguard, if it is the second battle of that turn or more, this unit gets plus 3,000 till end of that battle. So it'll be swinging for 12k without any boosting, which is pretty nice. And then, of course, well, I mean that after you state it's going to be attacking for 12k, and then obviously you could potentially be swinging for 20k on your first attack. And what I love about Aqua Force is how it really forces your opponent to really play defensive. I mean, even against Dayusha, that might not hurt them that much, just because of how good Dayusha is, but I mean, if you can survive a Dayusha attack, you'll be fine. Because you're just going to have such a strong board. Unless you're like me, who cannot draw his Sentinels for whatever reason, but yeah, I gotta tell you, Brandon and I probably played over 12 games yesterday. It was nuts. I know he used his Royal Paladins at first, which isn't really complete, but... And now he has a pretty much complete Dimensional Police deck. He only has 2 great Dayushas, but honestly, I feel like you can get away with running 2. Anyway, to round out the grade 2s, we have... Just want to show the triple rare foiling. For those of you who haven't seen the trial decks yet. Marine General of the Restless Tides Algos. Its Vanguard ability is when it attacks, if it is the second battle of that turn or more, Counterblast 1, Soul Blast 1, and stand one of your rear guards. So this is the other Soul Blast units. And then his rear guard effect is when it attacks, if it is the first battle of that turn, Counterblast 1, and stand this unit. So, really like this grade 2. There's a lot of... one of your more important grade 2s in the deck really helps you set up for your late game pushes, as well as getting your big unit effects off, like Naval Gazer and Riptide. And yeah, Naval Gazer and Riptide do combo pretty well together. And then for grade 1s, I run 2 Battle Siren Dorothea. Counterblast 2, and one of your other units gets plus 8,000 power till end of turn. Okay, I want to say this is a tech choice of mine, once again. just for the aggressive plays. And then 4 light signals, Penguin Soldier. Both rear guard effects, obviously. I know I haven't been stating that with cards, but that's why I zoomed in, so you guys can see that, and I don't have to explain it. Anyway, rest this unit, and one of your units in the same column as this unit gets plus 5,000 till end of turn. And then when one of your other unit attacks, if it is the 4th battle of that turn, retire this unit and what is it? Countercharge one. This is like one of the only countercharging cards I know. I never really get those effects off, but it's just a nice AK boost, but those effects are still pretty handy. And then my go-to grade 1 would be Tier Knight Theo. It's probably why he's one of the foil cards out of the trial deck as well. So his effect both applies in the Vanguard and Rearguard circle. When its attack or the attack it boosted hits a Vanguard, if it is the second battle of that turn or more, one of your units gets plus 8,000 power until end of turn. And that's really nice if you restanded one of your rear guards and you want to pump them up more and you don't want to rely on front triggers. That's where Theo comes in handy. And then finally, for Battle Syrian Viviana. I believe there's an error with her effect or something. I forget what it was, but I love the artwork on this card. And then her effect is when the attack is boosted, hits a Vanguard. If it is the 3rd battle of that turn or more, put this unit into your soul and draw a card. I know Dimensional Police has a card like this as well. I forget the name. Is it Die Brave? I think Die Braves is the same thing. They're not bad cards, honestly. Plus, you do Soul Blast in this deck, so that helps make sure you can continue to Soul Blast. There hasn't really been an issue where I couldn't Soul Blast. No, there was one game where I couldn't Soul Blast and I wanted to, but that was 1 out of over a dozen games. I wish she did have a little better effect, but she's still viable, in my opinion. And then moving on to the trigger lineup. Pretty simple trigger lineup, honestly. You have your 4 heals. Only 4 crits in this. Your Sentinel, which for some reason I cannot draw. And then your 4 front triggers. I'm doing 2 and 2 because why not? Just felt like having different artworks in the deck. I find it annoying that they made a trigger a foil, but aesthetics, right? And then finally your starting Vanguard. Just your basic. When wrote upon, draw a card. Officer Cadet Eric. So I'm wondering when we're going to get different starting Vanguards. Who knows? But that is going to do it for the deck profile, guys. Let me know what you think in the comments section below. Like I said, I know it's not it's not like your everyday Aqua Force deck, but you know, this is just only changes I really made was just taking out Tidal Assault. I was honestly thinking about taking out the Penguin too, but he is kind of necessary. Plus, you don't have many other great grade 1 options. And then the only downside with Dorothea is she's at 7k as opposed to 8k, but she makes up for it with that ability. Where's that light? Wow. I guess I'm in the brightest spot of my basement because that glare. Anyway, but that is going to do it. Like I said, let me know your thoughts on the deck below. As soon as I get more Maelstroms, I'll probably bump Naval... I'll probably put one more Maelstrom, bump down Naval Gazer to 2. Or just take out Riptide altogether. But, yeah, so that's it for now. I'll do a Dimensional Police deck profile again once I make the changes. And then I'm going to go over second booster set, which is AL4. So we're going to have We're gonna have Shadow Paladins. We're gonna have... Oh, wait. We're gonna have Shadow Paladins. We're gonna have Darker Regulars. And we are going to have Pale Moon. And very quickly, I'm gonna show you guys basically what I picked out of the trial deck that I'm considering putting in my Shadow Paladin deck when we get set 2 next month on the 19th of October. Week or two before my birthday. Cool. Anyway, that's it for now. I'll see you guys next time. Let me know your thoughts on the deck in the description below. And see you next time.